Okay, hi everyone. Hello, students, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. And today we have a very special webinar. And today we are going to talk about full stack development. How you can learn full stack development. What are the different ways to do that? Basically, we have different frameworks to learn and all of that. And also we have a very special guest, Tarun. Tarun is a school ambassador at Geeks for Geeks, and he already have a good knowledge of programming as well as of front end development. He has made a lot of projects, and I would not take a lot time. I would ask Tarun only to introduce himself to everyone who are in the class. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Tarun Pandey and I am in 7th grade from DV Public School in Faridabad, and uh, I have good knowledge of HTML and CSS and basic knowledge of JavaScript. uh,
Yeah,
and
Tarun,
I
would
am
you like to
living
tell
in.
about your projects?
Yes,
Like,
I made a project like a clone Google Keep, and my currently project is going on is clone Amazon website.
okay, that's so good. Just give me a second. Okay, my screen just freezed for a minute. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, that was all about what Tarun did, and I would I asked Tarun to join me for today's webinar because I wanted you guys to understand that these days. Learning coding or learning development or learning anything related to IT sector is not only only thing for students who are in engineering or who are who have passed out 12th. Everyone should, like, whoever is planning to choose that stream, they should start learning from very early age. And not only Tarun, we have a lot of school ambassadors also in our Geeks for Geeks team, where all the students are not above, I guess, 18, I guess. Yeah, they are all below 18, and they have done a really good work in different fields. Some have worked in data science, some are data engineer. You must have watched other webinars also. So yeah, so that was all about Tarun and the people that we have in a webinar. Now I would like to ask Tarun that who like what does he think about learning front end development or learning coding at very young age, because he might have done himself. So I would like to know that what is his experience, what does he think, what made him to learn all these things at this early age. Yeah, Tarun.
See, uh, um, every child ho- has a hobby. Every child has a like and hobby. So my hobby is coding, and why should I attract to coding? Because I like websites, like many websites through like youtube.com and amazon.com, flipkart.com, and many services of this websites. So I like these websites, so I go with web development.
Okay, you went with web development because you had a liking, you had a hobby in this field. Okay, so when we talk about full stack development, I would like to know that what is your knowledge about full stack development? Like, what do you know about full stack development?
If anyone wants to become a full stack developer, first we have to basic knowledge of html and css, and also a good knowledge of html and css. After that you go with javascript, and then you learn many frameworks like bootstrap, jquery, and many other thing, and many in javascript we have framework vue, angular, or node.js, or many things. Or after that you go with backend like php, node.js, mysql, sql, and this a few.
Yeah. So basically, for all the students who have like who are live with us, seeing this webinar, if you guys have any question regarding how you can learn coding at this early age, how you can learn DSA, how you can learn this full stack development, you guys can keep on writing your questions in the live chat. I'll be taking your questions in between. Okay. So yes, as Tarun said, I would like to add a few points over here. So full stack development is basically all about like building a website from scratch and handling everything from the front end what a user see, and also handling the server side things. Basically, you have to as Tarun said, you have to start with the front end. We have divided the full stack into two parts: one is front end and one is back end. So you have to start with the front end part to become a full stack developer. There you are going to start with basics of HTML and CSS, and with that you have to, after this you have to learn about JavaScript. Once you are very good like in HTML, CSS and JavaScript, then you can what you can do is you can start with some basic projects, and you can also see Bootstrap, because Bootstrap people like in starting Bootstrap is something that people do learn. And once you are good with all of these things and you have made some projects from scratch, then you can start learning the framework, like the JavaScript framework. You can choose front end framework. You can choose between Angular, Vue or React. All these things, all these three are front end frameworks, and it's your choice. Usually these days people are more attracted towards either React or Angular. So you can learn that, and once you are done with all these things, you are good to go. Like you are a full on front end developer, and you can be hired in any company once you have made projects in this. Now, how you can learn this, I have started a series, students, which is front end development for beginners, and I have taught HTML over there. CSS is something that I have not taught because we already have a playlist, so I recommended that playlist to you. And there I have come up with a very new concept, that now this time, not just teaching you the theoretical concepts using PPTs, I will be working with projects. Each and every project is divided into two class, and all in both these class, we start with a project. We do in first class, we do little bit of that project and I teach you about all the theoretical part, and then in the second class we just complete that project. That way you can upload your projects on your GitHub also. That will be some saved somewhere and can be used in the future. And yeah, and that like that's how you can build your profile. Okay, now I would like to address few questions which are like on this, which are coming. So Kamlesh has asked that how to manage time for both schooling and coding. Would you like to say anything, Tarun, about this, because you're already
Yes,
in school, so you might have like
yes.
managed this.
See, first you have to complete your assigned schoolwork given by the teachers. But in exam times, I skip the coding. I do not coding in a day. I only prepare for my exams only. Not I do coding or anything like I game or I do not game playing or that. I only study.
Yeah. Okay, so I would like to add few more points over here. So, students, the thing is that when you're in school, and especially these days from 2020 when COVID has tried, most of the schools are like have switched to online mode. When you have to switch to online mode, you can like get free time, and we are restricted to go out much and interact with many students. So, I would say that instead of at your own place, instead of watching series or instead of playing games, how about you make your own game? How about you make your own new thing? So have this spirit inside yourself, that instead of using the things which others had made, how about making things by own self? आप अपना गेम बना के और अपना गेम खेलो. We do have a lot of like there are students who are like below fifth class who also have interest in doing something new. These days students are really curious, so we also have a school guide in geeks courses. So there we have divided the course for each class section. So there, from there you can learn how to create games on scratch or on code.org. So start from there if you are very young, and if you are in maybe in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So here's the thing, that you have already computer science in your syllabus, right? You have already learned HTML, right? You have already going through Python course, like Python in your school, and or basically If you are in ICC, you will be going through Java. So anyways, you are learning all these things, right? So if you will just get 1 hour in a day, and if you will watch some video or see some articles, learn something, and do at least one code each day, that will help a lot to improve your skills over the time. Coding is not about like getting 2 hours in a day, or maybe 5 hours in a day, and just code 5 for 5 hours, and then for 1 week don't code. This is not how you can develop coding skill. You have to be consistent. Rose ek question solve karo, but do get a time. And obviously when you are having exams, so don't do for 15 days or 1 month. Just skip coding and come back to it later on, right? I hope that this was helpful, and Kamlesh is saying that that was helpful. Thank you. Okay, next question that we have is what is the use of JavaScript? So
JavaScript
Tarun, would you like? Yeah.
JavaScript can make a web page very interactive and innovative.
Yeah, so I would like to add over here that with the help of very small example or real life example, I will say that uh, inside a human body, okay, the skeleton that we have, that is HTML. HTML basically provides the structure, right? And then after that, the muscles and the features that we have, that is CSS. CSS basically helps in styling, okay, and the movement of hands, the movement of mouth, the thinking, all this is JavaScript. Now with this example, you might have understood that all the functionality, that when I will click on a button, I will be redirected to a new page. When I will click on when I will upload an image, like how to upload an image, so all the functionality, you can say, is handled with the help of JavaScript. Okay, I hope that this helps you and understands you, like makes you understand about what you're asking. Okay, now I would like to ask Tarun one more thing, that even though we are talking about full stack development and front end development, what about the basic knowledge of coding? There are many students who keep on asking this question a lot of times, that what about basics of coding? Like, should we start with basics of coding, or should we directly jump on development and just ignore basics of coding if you want to become a full stack developer? What are your thoughts about this?
First, you will have to learn block based coding. I suggest you can start from scratch, Thunkable or code.org in App Lab or Game Lab or Sprite Lab. After that, you jump with Python. If you good, if you good in scratch or block based coding, if you good, after that I suggest to go with Python, because Python is a popular language on it and it is easy to understand. After that you go with uh, after that you learn Python full. After that you make projects and practice of Python, and then you go with any other language.
Yeah,
but
so
बट फिर ये नहीं कि मतलब काफ़ी ज़्यादा हायर, you go with simple high languages. If you want to go with C++ or Java, it is not possible. But if you want to go with HTML, JavaScript, CSS, then you go with this.
yeah. So basically, yeah, I would like to add. See, students, when you work, when you work, I will be coming to backend part really, like after this. When you work in a company or anywhere, you have to handle real life projects. Okay, and why programming helps us? Programming basically helps us in building our problem solving skill. Okay, you're given a problem, you're thinking about the solution, you have certain amount, like certain data structures, you have certain functions and all of that. Using all of that, you solve that problem, right? So basically that helps you to build your problem solving skills. Now when you work on a project in a real life, like in a real life project or in a company, the project is also a real life situation or real life problem, and you have to find the solution for that. Once you have found the solution, then you have to like code that, basically make a website or make an app or something like that, right? So there also, if you need to have a good, like proper amount of knowledge of basic coding, and certain if you're in higher classes, or if you're wanting to pursue full stack development or app development as a career, then I would say that please start with a DSA, like DSA in any language. Because if I'll talk about Google Maps, their students do like there the map is basically handled with the help of graph data structure, that when you will learn DSA you will automatically learn. If I'll talk about if I'll talk about companies like Amazon, Facebook and Microsoft and all of them, so these days all these companies do use data science, right? Like they have Amazon have Alexa, and we have Siri and Google Siri, and we have like YouTube recommendations if we talk about YouTube. So all of these things are handled using data science. Now, when you will talk about data science, also basically these days we merge data science and web development, and we make a lot of projects, right? Now, when I will talk about data science, to do the data science part in any project, you should have a basic knowledge of Python. So that automatically every time that automatically brings you to the point that you need to have a basic knowledge of at least one language, and according to that you can go further for backend. Now, one more thing is that when you will start learning JavaScript, in that case what you're going to do is basically you're going to come across words like data types, loops, conditions, break statements, and function call, function definition. So all these things are taught in basics of programming. Again, I would say the same thing, that if you have learned these things in any language, be it Python, C, C++, Java, if you have learned these things, it will be very easy for you to learn while you will be learning JavaScript, because you will be very well aware of all the concepts. Only the syntax will be different a little bit, and that will be like basically if you are already aware of coding in any language, you can just complete JavaScript in like 15 days or something like that. Yeah, right. Okay, now we would like to move towards backend. Okay, and in the next question that you are asking, game eater, whatever your name is, I don't know. So the next question will come, like I'll answer the next question in that part only when we'll talk about backend. So yeah, Tarun, would you like to tell a little bit about backend? What do you have knowledge? Basically, if you are a front end developer for now, you will be definitely learning. I'm assuming that you'll be learning backend as like as soon as possible, right? So yeah.
Yes, yes. If you can learn backend, first you have to learn. If you good in Python, you go with PHP. If you good in JavaScript, you go with Node.js. First this language, and second you have to go with MongoDB or MySQL.
Yeah. So as Tarun said, he's like really, he has a good knowledge, so yeah, he answered it correctly. So basically the thing is, whenever you will be working with a web whenever you'll be working for web development, or whenever you'll be learning web development, there are multiple parts. The whole web development is divided into three parts. One chunk is the front end development or the client side, one is the server side, and another is the data, like database side where you'll be having all the data. So all these three chunks are connected, and when you learn about all these three chunks, and when you like know how to connect all these three, you are basically a full stack developer, right? So for backend, you can learn either you can go either with PHP or Node.js. Okay, so if you are good in Python, you have done a Python, like you have learned Python, then it's fine, you can go with PHP and it will be very easy for you. Now again, if you have learned JavaScript very nicely while you will be while you was working with while you were working with for front end part, and if you have a good knowledge of JavaScript, then in that case you can pursue Node.js. And for a database part, you can go we have MySQL and MongoDB. Usually, we prefer MongoDB because every data cannot be stored in the form of a
Mm.
table, right? We have to we do have some data where we cannot form table, where we just have to like save it in a JSON format or something like that. So to handle all of that, we basically use MongoDB. Okay, so yes, you are saying that should I learn Python or MySQL first? Uh, see, the thing over here is that it depends on what you are going for. If you are like if you are following full stack development, then in that case first you have to look for front end, and after front end for back end, yes, obviously you can go with PHP, Python. For like Python, for PHP you have to see Python only. And then once you'll be working with backend, you also have to have knowledge of databases, like how to handle databases, how to store and remove, how to store and access all of that. So for that you need MySQL also. So it's your choice, you can go either ways, that's not a problem. Okay. So, my next, and so now I would like you guys to tell you about the Wizard contest. Before, I would like you guys to just see what Wizard contest is, and after seeing that, I would like ask Tarun what does he think about that. He already might have idea about this because he was a regular student in the live classes that I used to take. Yeah, and all the other questions I will be taking after telling you about the Wizard competition. So as you can see on the screen that this is the page for Biohazard competition. The link will be given in the description box, and this competition will happen on 26th of January, and the top performers will get a chance to win rewards like a gaming laptop, iPad Air, Bose headphone, tablets, and smartbands. This whole competition is for like 1.5 hour, and you will be having 22 questions, where 20 questions will be the quiz questions and two questions will be your coding questions. Okay. So it will be of 300 marks, and the syllabus for this is basic of programming, binary representation of number, loops, and searching. Okay. And there are some instructions, some rules that I would request you to please check. You will also be given hints over there. You can use hints, but if you will use hints, obviously the marks will be deducted, like some marks will be deducted. And the languages that you can use are C++, Java, or Python. Okay. And one more thing that I want you guys to tell, that this is exclusively for school students. Students from, it is recommended for the students from class 8th to 12th, but other school students, like students who are in 6th class or 7th class, if they want to participate, they can participate. That's not a problem, but it's just recommended because the questions will be like generic, right? Like it will be not like कि कोई 6th class का students है तो उसके लिए easy देंगे and जो 12th class का उसके लिए difficult देंगे. It will be not like that. Okay. And one more thing that you should keep in mind is that the top three, if you try, and if 50 students, 50 or more than 50 students participate from your school, like from your school specifically, then the top three performers of your school will get a chance to win prizes like tablets, wireless earphones, and smartphones. And not only this, we are not giving prizes to only top students, we are also giving something to top 100 students in this contest, in this tournament. So the top 100 students will receive a letter of recommendation from CEO and free access to all the paid courses that we have on Geeks with Geeks. Okay. So this is all about the competition. I would request you guys to please look at it and register for the contest. The link will be in the description box. And if you guys have any question regarding the contest, you can ask in the chat section. Okay. Now let's quickly see one more question, and then I will like come to the next question. So he's saying that the guy is saying that I'm in class 10, then how can I manage learn programming? Any tip? See, if you're in class 10, would you like to, Tarun, to say anything like for this?
First, you have to assign all the work given by teachers, and all the work all the work of school, all the pending work of school, and prepare for exams. If you paper have 26 December, and here you will have your your exam में 12 chapters are coming. So you can uh, set a goal for prepare the exam, like 12 chapters one day, one chapter are done, then second day second chapter. After that you can coding, do coding.
Yeah, so basically, as Tarun is saying, that you can just set a goal, divide your time, and divide the syllabus, and according to that, you can find a like 1 hour, like just try and find 1 hour in your day and focus on coding. Now I would also like to add that if you are in 10th class, you might, if you are in CBSE, then you might have been working with HTML, I guess, or maybe Python. I don't have a lot of idea about CBSE, but if you're in ICSE, I know about ICSE that you might be working with Java. So you, and if you are planning to go with PCM with computers, or if you are planning to take computers in your 11th standard, then obviously you have to work with. Okay, so you have to work with. I was just checking their comments. So you have to eventually work with coding. You have to learn coding. So yes, and how to start coding? Basically, we have a lot of playlists on Geeks for Geek School. If you will go on Geeks for Geek School channel on YouTube, you will find first step to DSA playlist over there. There, I have started from very basic and have gone to very advanced level. And if you have to learn things about just about for the tournament that we are having, then we are already running a playlist. We are having live classes every day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And there I'm teaching like taking two questions. And initially I taught about binary representation of number and how to convert from one format to another format. So you can learn from there. There are multiple resources. Geeks for Geeks have multiple articles also. We have our school guide also. You can just go and check the school guide on Geeks for Geeks page. The link might be in the description box, so you can see from there also. And some HTML and MySQL. And for HTML and MySQL, just go and on Geeks for Geeks school channel, just see the HTML videos which I have taught. There you can find the, like, you learn all about HTML and you can start working with the projects that I'm teaching these days. And for SQL, we again have a playlist on Geeks for Geeks school channel. We have a lot of content on Geeks for Geeks school channel. You just have to get some time and research about all these things on our channel, and you will be finding each and every playlist over there, and you can learn from there. Cool. So yeah, now I would like to ask Tarun that, Tarun, you have already seen the tournament that we are organizing, and you already know about this. So what do you think that how it is going to help students, how it's going to help the people who are going to participate in this, and what all, like, what do you think about the contest?
Yeah, who are good in like Java, C++, so please must be participate in this contest, and who all are not in this, so you have to learn basic knowledge of Java or C++, like these languages, so you can also participate in this.
Yeah, so basically, if you already have a good knowledge of these things, these languages, like you have good knowledge of coding and basic knowledge of computer science, then you can participate. If you will not be able to code properly, we have given hints, right? We have also given like 20 quiz questions, so you can at least try those. And yeah, so you can do all these things, like, and do participate. And all, not only this, basically we have launched our school guide. We are having these everyday live classes to prepare you for the tournament. This is not because we are having tournament just now. We are planning to have tournaments more frequently for only and only for school students. So if you will start learning now, basically अगर ये वाला टूर्नामेंट के प्रेशर में आके you will start learning now, at least by second or third tournament you will be like, you will be really good in programming, and then at that time you can ace the scoreboard and you can ace the marks, and you can basically come in our top list. And that will also help you in building your like knowledge, and it will like basically help you to grow yourself, right? So yeah, guys, that was all about the full stack development. Now I would like to ask students if anyone has any doubt regarding the full stack development thing. One more thing I want to add, as Tarun has not done backend development, like don't have a very good knowledge of backend development in Java. So we also have an option of having a backend, like to learn to start with backend development in Java. So if you have been coding in Java, or if you are good in Java and you don't want to go in a JavaScript like section and just learn, you don't want to learn any new language from scratch, you can just start learning the backend development with Java. There you just have to learn about few frameworks, Spring Boot and all of that. And you can then you can just start working with projects, and as you will do projects, you will be becoming good. And I would focus this thing, like I would emphasize on this thing, really, uh, I would really emphasize on this thing, that please, whenever you are learning any kind of development, please focus on projects, because projects is something that will help you in growing, that will help you in learning more and more. Yes, mean stack and mon stack both, like it's your choice. Basically the only difference is that while learning the front end development, you are choosing either React or Angular. If you're choosing React, then it's MERN development, and if you're choosing Angular, then it is mean development. So that's totally your choice. You want to learn either of any like you can learn any library, and it will be both the developments, MERN and mean developers. Both of them have a really good pay in market and a really good demand in market, so it doesn't matter which particular one you are choosing. Right now, I would ask Tarun, if Tarun has any doubt, or like if you want to ask anything about the contest, about the development thing, or anything, he can ask. And I would also like to know that how is like he going, what does he think about the about the playlist that I've started with the projects, basically about the project series that I've started. Yeah, then.
Yes, I have an doubt in Java. How can we design Java? How can we design Java projects? How which frameworks we use in Java so I can design the Java projects innovate and make it innovative?
Yeah, so basically, Tarun, I would say that if you want to go in Java side, first of all, the first thing that you have to do is you have to have a very good knowledge of Java, and after that, you have to have a knowledge of Java collections also, because collections are used a lot of times. Okay, then you have to you can learn Spring framework in Java. Once you are done with this, these are the starting steps. Once you have came to this point, then you can move ahead with starting really small projects, and as you will move forward, you will learn more and more things, and you will come across more and more different things, and you can learn. It's just like more and mean development. You learn certain things, you learn some language, you learn about a library or a framework, and then you start with a project. When you start with a project, you implement certain part of the library or certain part of the framework, and in another project you implement certain part of the library, certain part of the. So if you doing multiple projects, you come across different functionalities, different things that a library or a framework has to offer. Similar things go with this also for, for Java backend development also. When you will start working, you will come across different things, and again, when you will come across any other thing, just go and research about it, learn about it, and start implementing it. Cool. Okay, for a beginner, I we do have a question here, that for a beginner, what's the roadmap to become full stack developer? Is start from a front end or back end or either server. So server is basically back end only. I don't know what's the name, ABYDV. Server is the backend only, and I would suggest for front end development, start with uh, for full stack development, start with front end only. And we already are having a series for front end development. If you are interested in that, please join there. And every Monday to Friday we do have live class from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. There we discuss a lot about front end development and projects, and Tarun daily come to that class. I have seen him multiple times asking questions and answering to that questions also. Now I would quickly like to ask Tarun, what does he feel about the a new playlist that we have started for developers.
Yeah, this is very good for beginners because it is from scratch. They can develop it from scratch. So I think please watch it, beginners all only, so it will be helpful.
Yeah, so after, like, once, like, we are almost at the end of this webinar, and at the end, I would really request you guys to please go and check the Biowizard School Coding Tournament. Maybe participating in this tournament will be the starting for your will be the start for your coding journey or your developer journey. And do check out all the playlists that we have on Geeks for Geeks School channel. We already have a lot of content, and if a student from like very small class is watching this. And if you are thinking that where to start with block programming. As Tarun said, we have a lot of block programming websites these days. We have Scratch, we have code.org, we have Thunkable. So you can use any of that and start with that. Once you're good with that, start with any language. We already have a lot of playlists for this language. We already have one more mentor these days, Avneet ma'am. She is teaching Pythons for school students, and she's covering all the CBSE syllabus. So she has also started from scratch. If you want to learn Python, you can go and watch her videos from very starting. You will learn everything about Python, and she's also trying and coming up with some projects. She will also teach you projects. She'll teach you game development with Python, help using Python. So we already have a lot of stuff. Just be regular, subscribe to our channel, and just see notifications, just see lives that are scheduled. Or watching all of them will help you in growing and learning a lot of things. And do participate in all the contests. And I was telling about the yes, the school guide. So if you will go on this page, we already have linked the school guide over here also. So yeah, just give me a second. I would just give me a second, guys. I would like to tell you about the school guide also. So yeah, okay, this is the school guide that I was talking about. We have a school guide. This is totally free. It is free of cost. You can just go and start the course from here. And there are like what you are, there are benefits that you will be having lifetime access to the course, and you will be having track based learning. Here we are not charging anything, and basically we have divided the whole learning thing into different sections. So for all the students from class first to class fourth, they can just start with computational thinking with scratch. And for all the students from class 5th to 8th, they can if they are beginners, they can just see these things, create games in game lab, web lab projects, machine learning using scratch, and real world apps in app lab. Now after that, if you are in class 9 to 10th, then you can go for C for beginners, Java for beginners. And we are also planning to add few more things in 9 to 12th class, that is front end development and Python. And in 5th to 8th, we are planning to add HTML section also. So do register yourself, and as we will with time, as we will add things in this, you are going to, that is going to reflect in your course also, and you can learn different things as you want. Okay, good. So yeah, that was all for this whole session. If anyone has any question, if Tarun has any question, you guys are open to ask all the questions that you want, and then I will end the session. Okay. Okay, I don't think that anyone has any question for me. If you guys have a question later on, you can just put your question in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. And I'll see everyone next, like after I guess 10-20 minutes in the next class. And yeah, see you everyone. Bye bye, everyone. Bye everyone.